So far we have done enough numericals on coplanar concurrent force systems in engineering mechanics. In this video, I will explain in detail word by word how to solve this problem where three cylinders are in a rectangular ditch. But before I proceed, I used to clarify certain important concepts which will help you very much, and solving numerical problems will be easier for you. Now I call it as tips for solving coplanar concurrent force systems. With example I will give. What you have to do is, first of all, you just need your high school concept in geometry to solve problems of this kind. It is that easy, right? Second, what you have to do is, identify the points of contact. Then number three, do not split a horizontal reaction force. If a force is horizontal, don't split it into rectangular components. And second, if a force is vertical like this, then also don't split it into horizontal and vertical components. Then don't split this as well as don't split this. Since this is already horizontal, its vertical component is 0. Since it is already vertical, its horizontal component is 0, so no need to split it. I will explain in the next page. Then apply sigma fx is equal to 0, means sum of the forces along x-axis is 0, sum of the forces along y-axis is 0 for each object, because each object are in equilibrium. Now again, if surfaces are smooth, implies there is no friction, so the problem is much easier for you. If friction is present, consider the frictional forces. Normally in engineering, you don't come across frictional forces. They give a simple numerical problem on coplanar concurrent forces. It takes about 20 to 25 minutes to solve it. So let us now. So what I wish to convey and explain is, suppose this OF represents a force F. Your F can be a tension force in a string, or F can be a reaction force R also. Now, considering this as a diagonal, consider a rectangle such that this side is perpendicular to this side. This is perpendicular to this. Then you shall say this is the horizontal component along x-axis and this is the vertical component along y-axis. Let this angle is theta. Let OC is equal to F. Cosine of the angle is OA over OC, that is OA over F. Cross multiplying OA is F cos theta. Similarly, applying sine theta here, sine theta is perpendicular AC over hypotenuse, AC over OC. AC is same thing as OB in length. Length of AC is same thing as OB. So OB over F, cross multiplying, we get OB is equal to F sine theta. So what is the conclusion? Given a force making some angle with horizontal, the side facing angle theta comes in sine, and the side connected with theta, adjacent to theta, comes in cosine, right? Means the side in front of theta will be always in sine, and the other one, excepting the hypotenuse, the other one will be always in cosine. Now a little more understanding. Note 1, look, if this theta is equal to 0 degree, if theta is equal to 0 means this force F is not like this, this F force is not like this, the F is not like this, it is like this. So if F is like this, then theta is equal to 0. So theta is 0 means the force is horizontal. So if the force is horizontal, then your OA, if theta is 0, cos 0 is 1. So F into 1 is F. And your OB, since theta is 0, because F is horizontal, sin 0 is 0. So your vertical component is 0. So if a force is horizontal, the whole of it is F and its vertical component is 0. So there is no need to split it. Again, it means if F is horizontal, its vertical component is 0. The second part, If theta is 90 degree, if theta is 90 degree, means F is not like this, F is like this, then theta will be 90. So if F is vertical along y-axis, then theta is 90. If theta is 90, that is F is vertical, then your OA, put theta here 90, cos 90, cos 90, F cos theta, F cos 90 is 0, 0 into F is equal to 0. And OB, the vertical component, is equal to F sin theta, theta is 90, sin 90 is 1 into F is F. Means if a force is F is vertical, its horizontal component is 0. Fine. Now let us then go to, of course, you can split. If a force is horizontal or a force is vertical, you can still split it. But by splitting, you won't get a horizontal component, a vertical component, but the components will be in different directions. For example, let this OC represents a force F. So considering this as diagonal, I draw a rectangle such that this is the diagonal, this is one side of the rectangle, this is another side of the rectangle. Let this angle is theta. So as I explained you, therefore the side facing theta, this will be in sin theta. So this is equal to your F sin theta. That is same thing as OB. OB is F sin theta, and this will be your OA is equal to F cos theta. But look, this is already horizontal. So this component and this component, they are rectangular components, means angle between them is 90. But this as well as this, none of them are either in x-axis or in y-axis. Similarly, if a force is vertical, considering this as the diagonal, draw a rectangle such that if this angle is theta, then this will be your F cos theta, this will be F sin theta. I explained you before. Now, but look, this is neither along x-axis nor along y-axis. This is neither along x-axis nor along y-axis. So, but in situations, you may be required to split a force like this, a vertical force like this, a horizontal force like this, depending on the numerical problem. Now let us analyze a problem where three cylinders are of weight 80 Newton, 160 Newton, and radius 100 millimeter, and 200 millimeter are piled in a rectangular ditch. Now look, now the problem. This is a rectangular ditch, and this is one cylinder, this is another cylinder, this is another cylinder. The radius of this cylinder is equal to 100 mm. The radius of this is also 100 mm. The radius of this is equal to 200 mm. And the weight of this is equal to 80 Newton. The weight of this is 80 Newton, and the weight of this is equal to 160 Newton. As I told you before. And what else is given? The distance between this point and this point is 450 millimeter. So what we have to first identify the points of contact. So then it becomes much easier. So here is a point of contact, 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 6 points of contact. Let here the reaction force is R1, here it is R2, here it is R3, here it is R4, and here it is R5 to this, also R5 to this, and here for this it is R6, for this it is R6 to this side, right? Now look, since this cylinder and this cylinder are identical, means the radius is same, so from this point to this point and this point to this point are same. So when A and B are connected, they will be in a straight line. From here, draw a perpendicular. Now let this angle is theta and this angle is theta, right? So this theta will help you finding the components of the reaction force R5 and R6. This is already horizontal, so no need to split it. This is already horizontal, no need to split it. This is already horizontal, no need to split it. This is already vertical, no need to split it. So we have to only split two forces, which are two reaction forces which are neither horizontal nor vertical, that is R5 and R6. Now look, I take this out from here to here. The center hole, this point is same thing as this, so this is the reaction R1, and this point R5. R5 is this, and this is the center, and its weight is given as 80 Newton. So its weight is vertically downward. You can draw it here, you can draw it here, you can draw it here, no problem. So then I take this out and keep it here. This point is same thing as this, reaction force R2 given by the wall. This point is same thing as this, reaction force R3 given by this surface. At this point of contact, this one is applying a reaction force R6. So then I bring this one here. Now this point is same thing as this, the reaction force is R4. At this point, this sphere is applying a reaction force to this side, R5. At this point, this cylinder is applying a reaction force to this side, and again its weight is given as 160 Newton. Now, now let us find out how much is theta. Now look, in this triangle, in triangle ADC, this angle is theta. So cos of this angle, cosine of this angle is equal to base CD over hypotenuse AC. Now how much is CD? CD will be 450 minus this and minus this. From here to here is the radius of this, that is 200. So 450 minus 200, and this is the radius of this, that is same thing as this, that is 100, divided by this hypotenuse. This is the radius of this one, this is the radius of this one. From here to here radius, from here to here another radius. 200 plus 100 is 300, so is equal to 150 over 300, that is half. So cos theta is half, so therefore theta is equal to 60 degrees. So this theta will be used for finding out the components of R5 and R6, right? The components of R5 and R6. Now look, this R5, for this one, I have split it here. This R5. Now, how this is theta? Now, how this is theta is very simple. Here, if you, this is your R5. This is your R5. If you draw a horizontal line like this, now then this angle is theta. That is same thing I have shown here. So this is your R5, this is theta, so this is R5 cos theta, this is R5 sin theta. Now R5 is also acting on this, but to this side, So no need to actually think about this. The moment you find R5 for this one, for the other one it will be just opposite to that. Means reverse this R5, reverse this R5. So if this is your R5, this is opposite to this. So this is R5 cos theta, this is R5 sin theta. Now then coming back to R6 here. For this sphere, R6 is this way, Now, therefore, this is the horizontal component, this is the vertical component, this angle is theta. How this angle is theta? Look, this is R6, this is your R6, this angle is theta, that is here. So this will be your R6 cos theta, this will be your R6 sin theta. And this is the R6 for this one. R6 is also acting on this, but in the opposite direction. So you just reverse these two. Means for this one, take R6 to this side and takes this R6 sin 30 to this side. So this is for this, this is for this, this is for this, and this is for this. Now let us solve. Now let us apply sigma Fy is equal to 0 for the cylinder A. You can apply it with any cylinder. For this, the sum of the forces along y-axis is 0 for cylinder A. Now A is drawn here. A is drawn here. The weight is downward, and this is also for A. R5 sin theta is upward. So W is equal to R5 sin theta. So W is equal to R5 sin theta. W is 80 Newton. So R5 comes out to be 80 over sin theta. Theta is given as found out as 60. So putting these values R5 comes out to be this. Then apply sigma Fy is equal to 0 for cylinder C. For cylinder C, the y direction. Now look, for the cylinder C, the y direction. This is for cylinder C, this is for cylinder C. Now this is upward, this is downward, and its weight is downward. So 160 plus R5 sin theta, both are downward, so this will be added to this. This is upward, so this will balance it. So 160 plus R5 sin theta. So 160 plus R5 we just calculated, sin 60 is equal to R6 sin 60. So putting the value of sin 60 in a scientific calculator, R6 comes out to be 27.128 Newton. Then apply sigma Fx is 0 for cylinder B. Now look at cylinder B. Cylinder B, sigma Fx is equal to 0. For cylinder B, this is the diagram. Sigma R2 is to this side and R6 cos theta to this side, and no other forces. So this along negative axis, this is x-axis, this is along positive x-axis. So R2 is equal to R6 cos theta. So R2 is equal to R6 cos theta. So we have just calculated R6 here. So put the value of R6, theta is 60 degrees. So this comes out to be R2 is this. Then apply sigma Fy is equal to 0 for cylinder B. For cylinder B, Fy is equal to 0. Your cylinder B is this. Its weight is downward, and your R6 sin 30 is downward, and your R3 is upward. So these two downward forces will be cancelled by R3. So W plus R6 sin theta. So W plus R6 sin theta is equal to R3. So put the value of W, it is given as 80. Then R6 is your R6 sin 60 is equal to R3. So this I'm solving gives you R3 this. Then sigma Fx is equal to 0 for cylinder A. Sigma Fx is equal to 0 for cylinder A. Sigma Fx is equal to 0 for cylinder A. For cylinder A, this is along x-axis, number 1 R1, and R2 cos theta is to the negative x-axis. So R1 will be equal to R2 cos theta. R1 will be equal to R5 cos theta. So R1 is equal to R5 cos theta. R5 we have calculated, theta is 60 degree, put it here, R1 comes out to be this. Then sigma Fx is equal to 0 for cylinder C. For cylinder C along x-axis. For cylinder C, one diagram was this, the other diagram was this. R6 cos theta along positive x-axis, R5 cos theta is along positive x-axis, and R4 is to negative x-axis. So R4 will be equal to this plus this. So R4 is equal to R5 cos theta plus R6 cos theta. So R4 I write here, R5 value I put it here, cos theta 60. Then this is your R6 cos 60. So R4 comes out to be like this. So we have calculated. All the forces: R1, R2, then your R3, then R4, then R5, then R6.